Okay, this is part 2 because I accidentally hit the button. I will tell you what happened to make me decide to put forth this project. I was married to a girl, and I won't give you any names. And I was very, very much in love with her. But I was still going through my gender crisis at the time, and she was understanding. She was actually bisexual herself. But she got involved heavily with some people who I didn't really like very much, into some drugs, and started prostituting herself out on Backpage. Well, this went on for 6 months. Probably longer, but 6 months that I know of. Until one of my friends called me up one day, and they were like, dude, your girl is online. I was like, well, I know she's online. You know, she's a dancer, and she works up at Secrets here in town. And I said, so what? He said, no, she's on Backpage selling her. I was like, no. So I looked at it. Sure enough, there she was, advertising herself for hourly rates. So I waited till she came home. We got into a massive fight. There was no physical thing happening at that time. Well, we went to counseling. During the counseling, she wasn't telling the counselor everything that had happened, that was actually going on. But me being in love, sick as much as I was with her, I let it go. About a month after that, I come home, and I walk into about 6 or 7 people in my house, all getting drugged up. I was supposed to be out of town working on some stuff, but I actually came home, and her in the bed with 3 other people, all doing drugs, and I flipped, and I probably beat up about, I'd say about 4 people. Most of the ones that were scrambling to get out of the house, because I just went ballistic. Needless to say that those people that I beat up pressed charges on me. And I actually went to jail. I went to jail for 18 months, 6 months for every person I beat up. While I was there, I guess the solitude, being alone by yourself, gave me time to reevaluate who I was and what I wanted to do, what I would do with my God-given talents. And those talents for me is actually promoting in events for other people, weddings. If you want to throw a party, call me up. I'll get all the DJs for you. I'll hire the girls. I work with guys. What we call them dickly dancers, the one who's go out and the male reviews. Those guys done work with strippers, done a lot of private parties. And I was like, what? I want to do something that's me. I want to discover who I was. So when I got Uncommon Ground, you guys are not the first Uncommon Ground I've worked with. The first Uncommon Ground girls I worked with actually was one with my wife and a bunch of other girls who sort of had the same issues, but they were fake, and I don't knock strippers for who they are, but they put on so many masks when they go on stage and be with these guys that they don't know who they are. And they forget who they are. But I wanted to do something that was dear to me, something that would help me explore myself and, discover who I am and discover who the people I would be associating with for the rest of my life that I chose to. So, what I did is I redesigned Uncommon Ground. Now, if you notice, it says Uncommon Ground Girls after it because I can't remember my password to delete the other Uncommon Ground, which is, if you look there's Uncommon Ground, and there's chains where there's trucks. If you go to those, you'll see the first Uncommon Ground girls. They're all pretty and everything, and which you guys are immaculately a lot more prettier than they are. But I decided to revamp and redo everything. This project that I'm doing, which I involved you guys in, and it's more in talking to God knows how many T-girls or T-women, whichever you want to prefer to call yourselves, over a course of 2 or 3 months. Talking to some, not allowing some to be because of certain attitudes or the way they wanted to go about doing things. And finding a group of girls who were willing to share their experiences with other people online to help them. We have a lot of groups online that you sit there and type and ask questions about taking hormones or her coming out or what's your different background, but there's nothing really to show what goes on. And I know we've all watched, well, I haven't really watched, but I've seen the Real Housewives of Atlanta and all these other, they're fake. It's fake, 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 fake. You can tell they're fake if you, none of that's real. It's all produced, for a show. This show, I don't want it to be fake. I want it to be real. I mean, real, because the people who you're going to be drawing in are going to be looking to you to kind of help guide them in what they're going through. Just like you're guiding me on what I'm going through right now. Where everybody's in a different stage of transition here. We have, I think, one, maybe two, just who are not in transition, but are drag queens. And I wanted it to be more helpful and educational. That way, it's more beneficial to people to look up, and so it can actually go on beyond that. As far as it being produced, that's all me. Every dime, every thing is coming directly from me. Now, when I started this project, I had just bought this RV because this is what I was going to be traveling around and meeting everybody. And I bought not a brand new car. Well, I bought a BMW. And right as I was getting to do something with it, somebody backed right into my nice new car. And I was a good enough guy or girl, whichever you want to prefer, to say, oh no, we don't need to call the cops. We don't need to call the cops. I took her information and everything. She was at fault. We both had Geico. And come to find out, she didn't contact Geico. So Geico's like, well, we're not going to pay for your car. I'm like, wait a minute. So for the past month and a half, which has stalled me on doing a lot of things, because normally I travel around to get sponsors and everything, not used to doing everything on the internet. I've been arguing with Geico to fix my car. Finally, last week, they said they were going to send an investigator to look at the whole issue. Okay, what else is there to tell you? Some of you know bits and pieces of me. Some of you actually know I really, really like one particular person out of Cassandra. I'm really... Anyway, there another part about me, that I'm actually interested in one of the girls who you guys are working with. Again, as far as the producing of this goes, it goes along with my background of what I know I can do. I know I can promote and pull this off. I have friends who do video editing. I have friends who do photography. I have friends who work for BET. I have friends all over the place, and located in certain key issues who are giving me advice on how to handle this. Like with the 10 episodes thing. Our sponsor, if you look at that, I don't want you guys to go pushing this out there or anything. If you go to Facebook, there's a vodka called, what is it? Benny Red Vodka. I did their website a couple years ago. They contacted me up again. I told them, they asked me to go ahead and do their relabeling. It's called Aurora or something. And I told them about our project, and they was like, well, we can help and work with each other. So a lot of this is going through a lot of networking. Anton Kennedy, he's actually his stage, and that's one of his stage names, but his other stage name, who I worked with for decades, his name is Silky Jones. You guys can look him up on Facebook. He has videos that you can talk to. He's our camera and music guy. He writes music. So all this is coming from experiences from what I've been through and what people I've worked with through for a long time. This is a reality series. Isn't new. It's how we're wanting to put it out there to the world that is going to be new, because it's real. It's not The Bachelorette. It's not The Housewives. It's not any of these other reality shows that you see where it's scripted. None of this is scripted. I don't believe my life, as what's me going through this transition, has been a script, and nobody can say it is. We're a unique community. We're very, very strong and numerous community, but our voice, and I know especially for me, dealing with my family, and they have no clue of what I'm going into. And when I try to tell them, it's either I'm getting mad at them, or I have friends who say, oh, well, this is you. This isn't you. I've known you since you were blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I haven't seen you in 25 years. You have no idea who I am. This project is to educate other people as well as to bring our community even more together, because I wouldn't say it's all I have, but it's right now it's who I am. And it's and like I said, I don't knock anybody for asking me any questions, because I want you guys to be very candid about what you're going through, and you know how your family members are coping, how many your friends who don't associate with you, your friends, your new friends. I've gotten new friends, and I've lost a lot of old friends who I thought would always be there as my friends. Like I said, this project is going to go. It's going to be very good. But the girls who are chosen, the 12, which will probably eventually should be 9, are the ones that are going to make it. Who's going to make it be for the community to approve of it, and that approval rating is going to be by the support we get online, the support we get from the people watching it. You know, in North Carolina here we had the HB2 bill where they had the whole gender bathroom problem that was going on with Pat McCrory and everything that they still sort of going through. That was a massive issue, and it took the country, you know, artists canceling stuff. We lost NCAA tournaments, artists canceling events here to basically set the record straight of what our community is about. And I think that the girls who I recruited can do that. Now some of you are like, well, like I said before, I can't model, I can't sing, I can't dance. That's okay. Not everyone is. But you guys are a group of girls, and you all have something in common. And what the world is saying, well, that shouldn't be. It's uncommon. You guys are going through enjoying it on an uncommon idea and making it sound. And when I say uncommon, it's not uncommon for us. It's uncommon for everyone else to get an insight and a real insight, to squash all the stereotypes, the rumors of what it is, what it means to be transgendered, lesbian, gay, pansexual, whatever it is that you want to classify yourself as being, or whatever the world wants to classify you as being. For me, right now, this project is in the stage of, in about 2.5 months, I'm supposed to bring you all to Baltimore for a photo shoot. So I'm going through my list of friends who well, actually it's 3 right now, to do your photography, and and raising that money, which is really difficult without having my car. So it's anyway, renting a car is like the massive expense I don't feel like really doing, because it's going to take away from getting at least 3 of your plane tickets right now, which are range between $150 to $200. And I want you guys to not, if you have a problem, ask. Put it on the camera and say, hey, what's up, Diz, whatever you want to call me. A lot of people still call me Disney. Nikita was just a name I've always liked. Like in the film Nikita, Point of No Return. I've always liked that, so I chose that to be my name. But Disney Pearson is my real name. Let's see, what else can I display to you guys? Well, I don't know as much as I can. I mean, I know a lot that's in my mind and how the project that I want to go. But you guys can make this to be something spectacular, and I know I can do it with your help. It's not massively funded by anybody as of yet, because that's what our pilot episode is going to be about in Baltimore. Well, why have you here? Let's talk about Baltimore. Baltimore right now is being scheduled for the mid part of August. That is bringing you guys in on that Thursday, and that Friday doing your photo shoots, your in-depth interviews, your getting to know a little bit about your background, and getting a pilot done for the series. And a lot of you don't know what a pilot is. It's basically the first episode that you present to a bunch of sponsors, so the sponsors can say, okay, fine, we go ahead and we'll give you some extra funding for that. That's what that pilot is going to be for. That Friday versus the taking pictures and meeting everybody, all that will be filmed. All that will be edited together. The next night, which is Saturday, I had planned on visiting 3 bars in the area. One to eat dinner, one to go party at, and one to do an after party at. So if any of you guys know more about Baltimore than I do, I would really appreciate your help. But as of right now, it's Club Mixer, Factory 17, and GAY Lounge. Those are the 3 places that I'll be calling this week to try to get some more information on the thing. So, like I said, like I'm saying to all of you, is out there, is this project is very, very dear to me. It's something that I know I can do. It's something I know I've done with DJs and I've done with myself. I'm doing parties and raves which had no other meaning other than getting massively high and dancing all night long. That 8 hours long, tripping on about 10 hits of ecstasy. But I guess I've graduated into growing a little older. But yeah, that's who I am. If you have any more questions about who I am, or you got any more questions about my background, please feel free. Feel 100% free to text me, call me. I think you guys have my phone number. If not, you can get it off of Facebook. I'll give it to you. It's no problem. You guys can call me all the time because I hardly ever sleep, as you can tell. I've been up all night. I just got back through my therapist, so I wanted to beat up, but that's another story. But anyway, Remy, good question. Anybody else have any? Follow her lead. She's done very, very, very well at helping to get your image out there. And like I said, if I have to be the first person to come clean on everything that I want you guys to come clean with, I have no problem with doing that. And maybe I should. Maybe I should be that first person. Maybe I should be the 10th uncommon ground girl to, say, why am I doing this? Why, why? But there you have it. You know who my love interest is. You know where I went to school. You know I have kids. You know I went to jail for beating up 3 people. You know who Silk is. The photographers are Scott Lloyd Photography. God, I can't remember my other friends' names. You know the funding is coming from one of the vodka bottle people who I'm working with. You know the tentative date. Hopefully that date stays the same. That will be more than likely. I'll find out 100% this week that date is the same or not. Well, it should not change. Should not change. I haven't put out the other flyer yet because I'm not 100% sure about what's going on with that. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this to YouTube so you guys can look at it and you guys can get a clearer image about who I am. And like I said, if you have any more questions, let me know. All right, love you.